Hi everyone, Effie here. Today I'm back with another video created using our new Happiest of Peonies stamp set. First, I took an A2 size panel, which is just 4¼ by 5½, and then I took the peony stamp from the set and I just stamped it all along the panel. But of course, I stamped the first one right in the middle, and that is going to be our focal point. I'm stamping our peonies in our Noir Dye Ink. It's a really great crisp black ink that you can watercolor with. However, today we aren't going to be watercoloring. We are going to be coloring these peonies with our zig markers. After I finish stamping my panel, I'm going to start coloring in my panel with zig markers. The first one that I'm using is number 21 Light Carmine, and I'm just going in and I'm coloring in all of the florals and all of the buds. I'm not doing any special shading or coloring today. I'm literally just trying to stay within the lines. It's very simple coloring today. I'm just trying to create a very simple print. I'm just going to color in all the peonies the same way, and then once I finish, I'm going to go in with number 42 turquoise green, and I'm just going to color in all of the foliage with this zig marker. Next, I'm going in with a number 52 bright yellow, and I'm just coloring in all of the stamens of the peonies. Then I'm going to hit the panel with my heat gun to make sure that the panel is entirely dry of the ink. Next, I'm going to use my mini Misty to help me position my large brush hello sentiment over my panel. You may want to prep your panel with some anti-static powder tool. I did this off camera. So I inked up the hello sentiment with some Versamark ink, and then I closed the cover of my Misty to stamp the sentiment. Now I'm just spooning on some gold embossing powder. Next, I'm going to melt all of that embossing powder with my heat tool. You want to let your heat gun heat for about 10 to 15 seconds before you actually apply it to your panel to avoid warping. Next, I'm taking a number 10 black zig marker, and I'm just going to add some shadows to our hello sentiment. And this is just going to give it a little bit more depth, and it's going to ground the sentiment within your panel. And it just adds a little bit more interest to the card. Now I'm just adding the shading to the right side of my letters. I'm not adding it to the left side because I'm kind of making it seem as if the light source is coming from the left side. So that's why you only have the shading or the shadows on the right side. You can make it seem as if the light source is coming from the right side and shade on the left side, but you want to make sure that you keep it consistent. After all the coloring is finished, I'm going to take the largest die from our double stitched rectangles die set, and I'm just going to position it over my panel and tape it down with some washi tape, and then I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And this is just going to add a nice stitched effect along the borders of my panel. Our double stitch dies have stitching on the inside and outside of the cut line, so you can add some really nice texture with our double stitch dies. We also have round and square double stitch dies in our collection as well, and the square and round dies are a little larger than what's out on the market right now. After I finish die cutting our panel, I'm just going to take a horizontal top folding card base, and I'm going to adhere that middle panel onto the card base, but I'm going to use that outer border as a guide to make sure that I line it up straight. So after that middle panel has been adhered down, I'm going to adhere the border panel with some foam tape. I have the giant roll of 3M foam tape, so I just cut a strip or tear a strip off, and then I'm cutting that strip in half so that it'll fit within the borders. You could create a shaker at this point by just adding an acetate window and dropping in some sequins or beads, but I decided to keep this card simple by just creating a pop-up border, and my dog decided to make a guest appearance. For my last step, I'm adding some Fashion Week red sequins, and the size that we have are 6, 5, and 4 millimeter, and I'm just adding all of them onto the panel, and I adhere them down in a visual triangle. The card is now complete. I thank you all for stopping by and watching, and I'll see you next time.